Good morning, student. Today we are going to start for learning the remaining part of lesson effects of light. Lesson number 17. In that already we had learned the phenomena related to light. Scattering of light. In that we had learned beam of light, blue sky, reflection, dispersion, refraction, and reddish appearance of the sun. Now after this experiment, we have to see use your brain power. If we add a few drops of milk in the is above experiment given in your textbook, what will happen? The reddish color seen from the front become intense red. However, if if many more drops are added, the reddish color is not seen. Why this is so? Now, as more and more is milk is added, more particles of the proteins, fats scatter the light. The blue color is scattered more and more than orange and red light, and the beam appear blue from the side. If few drops of milk are added along with blue color, orange and red also are scattered and only the intense red is seen from the front. But when many more drops are added, even the red color is scattered and we do not see any from the front. Did you understand? Now, sunlight is scattered by the molecules of gases like nitrogen, oxygen in the atmosphere, and the blue color in the sky in the sunlight is scattered the most, and therefore the sky appears to be blue. Now, sunlight reaches as through the layer of atmosphere. At the sunset, the light reaching as it travels a distance through the atmosphere. Due to this great distance, there is a more scattering of blue color. As a result, the red-yellow light reaches us directly and the sun appears to be red. Red light is scattered less than the blue light. Now, let us recall what is a shadow. How is a shadow is formed? In previous class already we had learned about the shadow. You know that shadow obtained from a point source and extended source. These are the two types we are going to start for learning in this lesson. Before we have to know the definition of the shadow. The light emerging from the source of light illuminates the screen placed in front of it. Means if the light is coming from the source, you know that's on this earth surface. What is the source of light? Natural source of light? Sun. It is a source of light. If it is coming and if when it will be, what will happen? If it rays will come and it will be hit on any obstacle or any tiny things or large things which are present on this earth surface. But if any object is placed in between the source of light and the screen, the light rays get absorbed or it can be abstracted by the object, and as the part of the screen does not get illuminated, it remains dark. This dark part is called the shadow, and as you know that shadow formation takes place through or by only opaque object. In previous class already we had learned. Now shadows are of two types. Point source, it can be possible to obtain from point source, and extended source. Now what is meant by point source and extended source? We are going to start learning in detail by using this activity. Now shadow formed by a point source. Here see the diagram 17.3. Take either a candle or torch as a light source. In front of it, set up a cardboard with a tiny hole O as shown in this figure. Now light is seen to emerge from the hole on the cardboard. Such a light source is called a point source. You have to do the arrangement. One cardboard needed, one candle, here one screen we needed, and what will happen? You have to arrange all these things in this way that the candle can be seen, or the reflection can be passed, or light can be passed through from the tiny hole of the cardboard. Now place a screen vertically at a distance of more beyond the cardboard. Screen should be placed at least 1 meter far away from the cardboard. Hang the big ball between the screen and the cardboard and observe the shadow AB of the ball. Now, the ray of OP. Are you able to see the diagram properly? The ray OP and OQ starting from the point source just passes by the ball and fall on the points A and B on the screen respectively. However, since no rays reaches the screen between this point A and B, that part remains unlit. This is the dark shadow, or one can call it as a umbra. What we'll call it? We can call it as a umbra. Now what happens if the cardboard with the pinhole is removed? Now we do not have a point source. Now this source is called the extended source. What is the nature of shadow formed by extended source? Now before that, what we had learned? We had learned about the point source. Here point source, when a source of light is very small in size, main example, light emerging from the hole, it is called a point source. A source of light which is very small in size, and when an object is placed in the path of light which is emerging from the point source, you will get to see in this diagram. What will happen? Only one shadow is formed on the screen. The shadow form is dark and it is called as a umbra. What we call it? Umbra. Now second, extended source. Already we had discussed shadows are of two types, obtained from point source and obtained from extended source. Now extended source. Here you have to observe this both diagram carefully. 17.4 shadows obtained by an extended source. In that, see what happens if the cardboard with a point source, if you try to remove. Now this source is called extended source. And what is the nature of this extended formation of shadow by that extended source? Now due to extended source, we see two parts in the shadow of the ball on the screen. One is very faint. You will get to see A and D is the dark shadow and B and C is the very faint shadow. The faint part of BC is called penumbra, faint shadow which is obtained. BC, faint shadow which is obtained from the direct source. Here we are not using the cardboard. That's why the source of light is directly fall on this screen. When it is reflect on the ball, it can be seen directly on the screen. Now here one is a dark shadow AD and one is the faint shadow. Faint shadow is called penumbra and the dark shadow AD is called umbra. Now let us see what happens in the following activity when the ball is bigger than the extended source. See that Diagram 17.4. Shadow is obtained by an extended source here. But instead of that, shadow of small object is formed by an extended source. Means here our object we have to take smaller than that extended source. Now what will happen? Now please let us happen activity when the ball is bigger than extended source, which is keeping the distance between extended source and the ball constant, moving on the screen further and further away. Observe the shadow. As the screen moves further, the umbra and penumbra in the shadow of the ball you will get to see in this diagram are seen to be become bigger and bigger. Now replace the big ball with the one that is very small in the size than the light source. Observe its shadow on the screen. What will happen? Now when we see the umbra and penumbra of the ball on it, now without moving the light source, and the ball moves the screen further away from the ball, and observe its shadow. As a result, screen moves further and umbra becomes smaller and smaller, and at a certain point it disappears. What will happen? At a certain point it will be disappear. Have you seen in the 17.5? Shadow of small object formed by an extended source. Now from that you will understand that extended source, when the source of light is bigger in the size and the light emerging from the torch is called extended source. Source of light which is bigger in size and emerging, it's called extended source. And here when an object is placed in the path of the emerging from an extended source, the shadow is seen in the two parts. Darker part of shadow is called umbra, and the faint or lighter part of the shadow is called penumbra. When the screen is moving away from the object which is bigger than that extended source of light, here torch is used as an extended source of light. The size of both shadows, umbra and penumbra, goes on increasing. On the other hand, when the screen is moving away from the object which is smaller than the extended source of light, the size of umbra goes on decreasing, and after certain distance it disappears. Shadows of small objects are obtained from extended source. Dear children, what we had learned today, we had learned about phenomena related of the light. In that previous lecture, we had learned about extended source of light, point source, which are the umbra and penumbra. Now in previous lecture already we had learned scattering of light. Today we had learned about shadow. Now the remaining part, formation of eclipses, what is eclipse and types of eclipses, we are going to learn.